Got
Hold
it.
on.
Totally professional.
I started it. I don't even know how to see if anybody's in the bit.
Wow.
All right. We chilling. Hold on. I gotta send a link in here. I need to find the YouTube, how to share it on YouTube. That's what I'm about to do. I might just forget it and oh wait, no, I got it. Share. All right, boys. All right. I'm inviting Dan Argueta right now. Give me 1 second. He's very excited to talk to us. Nope, that's the wrong link. This is my first time streaming, so give me a little bit of a little break. You feel me? Let me know. Comment who you guys are, because I talk with you guys all the time in Discord and Twitter. So let me know who you guys are. I recognize a lot of your names. All right, I sent Dan the invite, so you'll be hopping on in a second.
All right. Sound good.
Yeah. So first, we're gonna grab Dan Argueta, talk to him a little bit, and then we will break down UFC 300. So let me grab. Yeah. Now we're just waiting on him. Maurice, before he gets here, bro.
Uh-huh.
This is the only fight I'm really interested in. But Holloway or Gaethje?
Holloway or Gaethje? I don't know. Honestly, like it's tough just because I know Gaethje's like I'm not a big fan of Gaethje. I'm a bigger fan of Holloway, but like it's tough because Gaethje, he's got so much power in his hands, the way he throws his shots. It just does so much damage. Max Holloway's got a chin, but I think that like moving up in weight, Max Holloway moving up in weight will be like really good for him. But
Yeah.
I guess the question is just that does power translate to the next division? Because Gaethje's
Yeah.
good
No,
does
just
for sure.
I got a Twitter notification. It says federal authorities conclude Shohei Ohtani was a victim of fraud. Because you remember you heard that
Yeah.
the gambling thing. He was a victim of fraud and was not involved in gambling. And so the guy that did, um, the guy that did is pleading guilty already. So it's already
Oh,
they're already
really?
concluding. It's like he's guilty, and that's that. That's crazy.
Mm. That's fast. Wasn't
That's
that like a
tough.
couple weeks ago?
Yeah, but like usually stuff moves a little slower than that. But he's I don't know all the information, but basically, hold on, let me make sure. Let me text in again. They're moving quickly with that because Otani, he's a really good baseball player, so they're not going to find him guilty of anything. Oh,
Yeah, of course not. Can you see how many people join this stream
what's up?
at once? Can you see how many people join this stream?
Yeah, I see it.
Sweet.
It's three people.
W.
Huh?
I said W.
I can't hear you.
I said W.
Oh, yo, is Dan flaking us? There's a possibility.
Nah. Nah, bro.
He
Dan's
just
the
answered
man.
3 minutes ago. You said what?
I said Dan's the man.
Yeah, he's flaking us. I don't know. We'll just jump on another fight then. Until he gets here. So it says okay. It says it won't let me comment. I don't know why. Can't post comments to some destinations. Trying to figure this out still.
Yeah.
I wonder why I wouldn't be letting him comment. I'm about to join on my thing. I see.
Sweet. Just gonna turn off that.
Yeah, it does. He probably just got banned. There he is. Yo, Dan, how's it going?
Good, guys.
Yo.
Good. How you doing?
Good, man. Fucking doing fucking boyfriend stuff.
Boyfriend stuff. This one's got an anniversary coming up, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's coming up.
Here. Is this working good?
Yeah. We see you. We hear you.
Yeah, boyfriend
Yeah.
stuff.
Like what?
How's life been? Everything good? Chilling?
Chilling.
That's good. That's good.
I got back in
Yeah.
the gym on Monday. Trained twice on Monday, twice on Tuesday. Just kind of trying to. I like being in the gym, so I'm just trying to have fun and pick up exactly where I left off. You know, I made a fucked up
100%.
mistake in there, so gotta just roll.
Yeah,
with it.
100%. I was watching some YouTube videos trying to see like people like questions people ask, and I couldn't find the answer. I was really interested like how you got started in MMA, like what like what got you like into it, like passionate about MMA, you know?
I was fucked up. I was a fucked up high school or college kid, man, and I had potential in wrestling and I wasn't using it. I liked partying a little too much, a little too much. I had potential in wrestling. I was a mean fucking dude. I like to wrestle hard. I like to compete, but I didn't like winning yet. I didn't know what winning cost. You know, I was always one of the best wrestlers in the room, one of the best wrestlers in the country, and I couldn't uh, I couldn't step on the pedal when I needed to. And now with fighting, the stakes are a lot higher, a lot of skin in the game, and you gotta be all in, dude. You gotta be all in, and when I decided that almost 8 years ago, I've been all in ever since. I'll do anything it takes to win except for cheat or sacrifice, the loved ones around me, man.
Yeah, 100%. We see that when you're fighting. You're an animal, bro. Like we're wrestling, you're just an animal. And so
That's
yeah, definitely. What?
that's the easy part, man. The wrestling. Like this fight we watched this contender series fight. We basically saw what he didn't like. He didn't like wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
And it was funny. I was talking to Cub Swanson yesterday, and he was saying going into the middle of that second round, he could see it in my body language. He's like, "Oh shit, Dan, the pace was starting to get to me," and then that made him happy because he goes, "Okay, it's working. If the pace is getting to me, this kid's gonna get desperate. He's gonna break pretty soon here." And it was like 15 seconds left. I was in on that last takedown, and I told myself, I'm like, "Hey, man, you take this kid down right here, right now. You just secured another round. You finish this takedown, you secure the round. Uglier round, but you secured it." And boom, 10 seconds, he slaps on that guillotine, and I was just like, "Oh shit, this is tight." I was like, "This is tight," and proper defense right away. And I'll explain kind of the two positions that he did really well at. I spoke to him yesterday about it, to Gene.
Oh wow.
Wow.
But at that 10-second point when he locked it up, I went with it. I heard 10 seconds. I'm like, well, I got to show the ref that I'm alive. And I go to punch Gene. And you could see on the photos that last punch I threw while he was choking me, just all the veins above around my neck just started popping. That was the last bit of life I had in me, using that punch. And I threw that punch, and boom, I woke up. The doctor was looking at me. Jason Herzog was like, "Hey, Dan, you went out, he guillotined you with 2 seconds on the clock. And I was like, fuck. And I look up at my corner and I see Cub just, he looked so sad for me. And he was just looking at me and I mouthed to him, I'm so sorry. You know, it was rough, man. I rewatched it and I was like, holy shit, I tapped. I didn't even know I tapped.
Wow.
I was out. I was out. That punch, I was out cold and I woke up. You know, your body's a crazy machine, dude. It'll save your life even when you don't think so.
That's insane. Yeah, we Maurice and I are huge MMA fans, so like we've always been interested in like the ins and outs of that specific thing, like because I mean it's straight like you're a straight warrior. Like the fact that most men are never gonna be in a cage like that, like you do, that's insane. You know, like it's crazy.
Oh, I love it, man. I fucking love it. Like
yeah.
this whole camp, man. The amount of times I cried this camp was fucking ridiculous. Just because
Why?
I was everything I did. You know, I did it a day before I left California for Danny Silva's UFC debut to go corner him.
Yeah,
I did a 10-mile run on
Hell of a fighter.
I did a 10-mile run on the ocean, and I started fucking crying. So I was like, "Hey man, if you don't fucking win this fight, this could be your last fucking 10-mile run on the ocean with these feelings." And you know, that hit me. You know, I did this messed up run up in the mountains in New Mexico, and I cried on the last one that I did before leaving for Vegas because I beat my best time that I have ever
Oh, wow.
that I've ever ran it in 6 years. I beat my best time on this run it'll make a coward of some of the best fighters I've ever met. This run is so messed up, and I did it with my mouth taped for an hour. Because it was getting too easy and I was getting scared that I wasn't working hard enough. So I did
You're
it
a
with
dog.
my mouth taped.
Crazy.
And I cried after I did it. My coach was like, "What's your fucking deal?" What? I'm like, I'm proud of myself. I didn't think I could top myself. And it was awesome. You know, and it was all out of that fear of, oh fuck, this could be my last camp. This could be my last camp because, you know, I gotta win this fight. I gotta win this fight. And after that fight, it was pretty cool, man. Like I was sad. Obviously, I was like, fuck, man, I'm about to get cut. I'm about to lose my job. And the matchmaker, Sean Shelby, ran up to me as I was leaving the arena. Dan, and I turned around, walked to him all fucked up, and I'm like, yo, I'm sorry. And he was like, what do you mean? You made a mistake. You just fought a monster and you were winning. He goes, you made one mistake. He goes, and Cub was right there, and he goes, we're going to get you back in there. Don't you worry. And I was like, man, okay, cool. And I guess I'm not going to say I deserve it, but I guess that's kind of how I'm treated because you think other 35ers wanted to take that fight against Gene Matsumoto?
Yeah.
No,
I loved it. I wanted to beat him so badly because I've beaten these undefeated Brazilians. You know, I wanted that one, man. You know, it sucks, but it was nice to know that, you know, my efforts and my camp didn't go to waste, and that's why I'm trying to pick up right where I left off, man.
Hell yeah. Because I mean, I know a lot of guys that weren't. I know a lot of guys that didn't want that fight. Just a lot of fighters in general. Just that's one thing that clicked with you is like when I started watching you, like you're taking these fights that like people don't want, you know, and the UFC's got to respect that because you just fight who you want to fight, you know, like you don't take the easy route.
No, hell no, because at the end of the day, you know, we all want to become champions, and I truly believe like real champions, like respected to Poirier. He's beaten some good guys on his way up, man. I think that guy's amazing. And you know, with that being said, I don't. Oh, you guys are gonna catch me doing boyfriend stuff right now. I I don't shy away from those opportunities because every time shit like that happens, it could be the best night of my life. It could be the best night of my life to fucking, imagine if I would have finished Gene Matsumoto, it was gonna happen in the third round. Like that could have been the best night of my life.
Yeah.
But to do these things, it costs. There's risk. The risk reward on that one, shit, it was a tough one. But what am I gonna do, dude?
Yeah,
It's my job. It's my job. When I first started, covered me one rule. If my manager asks me to fight, my coaches tell me that I'm gonna fight.
I think we lost you a little bit.
Then you gotta take the fight. Those people aren't gonna ask you if
There.
they don't think it's a good one.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
If you say no, usually when you say no, it means that you're not prepared. You're not ready. But, I say it all the time. This is occupation fighter. This is a lifestyle. This is everything. It's not just a game. It's not just a sport. It's not just a career. I legitimately I like fighting. Like this week, I wanted to go to a boxing gym on Monday with Cub, and I was pissed he didn't invite me. And he goes, "Dude, you just got put to bed." He's like, "Fucking take a week off," and I'm like, "Fuck, I forgot I got put to sleep."
Yeah. He's got a how do you feel about his fight with Andre Philly? I saw it just got announced like a couple of days ago. I think we lost him.
Hold on 1 second.
Yeah, of course. While we wait for that, I'm trying to think like stylistically Philly. So I don't know if you heard Maurice, but Andre Philly's fighting Cub Swanson. I'm trying to I'm trying to figure it out like stylistically. You got two strikers. I think Cub Swanson does have an edge on the ground. So I don't know. It's an interesting fight. My brain immediately goes to betting, which it shouldn't. But my mind's like, where's the lines? What are the odds? But just like stylistically, it should be a really good fight. Because Philly's coming off of that. Who did Philly fight? Oh, Philly fight Dan Ige. Oh, we got Dan back.
Sorry, I had to use my phone for the drawing app.
Oh no, you're all good. Oh, a drawing app. That's dope.
For the washing machine.
Yeah. Oh, we were just talking about not Danny Gay. Andre Philly.
Philly versus Cub.
Yeah, for Cub.
Badass fight.
That's a dog fight right there.
I'm supposed to be moving back to New Mexico middle of May. When my girl graduates from dental school, but I told her, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna move you back. But then I gotta come back to California and finish Cubs camp, and hopefully I start my camp in a couple weeks here. But
do you have like a type of fighter you're interested in fighting, or you're kind of just thinking about whatever? Like, do you have any plans?
I have.
Oh, we lost him again, I think.
I gotta kind of keep everything on the down low.
Yeah, we lost you a little bit. You said you're keeping everything on the low. That's all. That's
yeah. I got a couple names, but I gotta keep them on the low right now.
Gotcha. Yeah, gotcha.
Just like with myself, you don't want to kick guys while they're down. You don't want to ask for people you don't deserve. So I kind of got to just stay quiet for now and lick my wounds and get better.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, we don't want to take too much of your time. So I just want to get through a couple like main card fights for UFC 300, see who you think is gonna win, and then we might wrap it up. Is that cool with you?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. So you got Oliveira or Surukian?
I like Arman. I like him. I think he's for having the base of a talented wrestler and being able to mix it up and doing what it takes to win. I like Arman. Shoot, and very rarely do I bet against Oliveira, but I'm gonna pick Arman.
Armon? Yeah, I'm actually on Oliveira. I think he's got because again the criteria is changing for MMA with like damage, and so I feel like I'm not sure if I've seen Sarukian show us like against these high level guys, good stand up. Not I'm sorry, not good stand up. Good like damaging stand up. I haven't seen it yet. Besides Christos Giagos.
I think
But,
my reasoning is Arman's got nothing to lose. The
mhm.
pressure this is Arman's first big one. The
Mhm.
pressure for Oliveira. Oliveira's been there before though. But if I'm not mistaken, this is not a 5-round fight.
Mhm.
Yeah, Arman, he's made for a pace. And Oliveira, he could weather the storm, but Oliveira can usually pace himself for 5 rounds.
Yeah, that's true.
So
Mhm.
I'll take
Yeah.
Arman.
Okay, I got Justin Gaethje or Max Holloway.
Oh, Gaethje.
Tough fight.
Gaethje.
Gaethje. I think that's got to be the fight of the night. That's definitely up there with the contention.
Uh, with the weight change, I'm afraid of the power possibly being too much for Holloway.
Yeah, that's definitely something Holloway's camp's got to focus on. Make sure that.
It's not a grappling power coming out of Gaethje. It's like a raw freaking he can knock you the fuck out power. That's
Yeah.
hard to prepare for, especially going up a weight class. That's one of the reasons I don't fight a 45, dude. I watch 45ers get freaking slept all the time. Very rarely do 35ers get slept. And so like when I get hit by like a Miles Johns, I'm like, this is the hardest hitting guy in the division. This is fine. I could do this.
Yeah.
That's crazy. What do you walk around at?
What do you think? I'll let you guess.
Man, you're jacked. Okay, you fight at 135. I'd go
It's 170.
160.
Between 70 and 76.
God damn.
I went into the cage at 167.
That's insane. Fighting at 135. That's how do you do that weight cut? That's
Right now,
insane.
I think I know on paper right now, I don't think there's been a bantamweight that's gone into the cage heavier than me.
Jesus
Wow.
Christ. Wow. That's insane that you're able to make that weight cut. That's insane.
Yeah, I walk around at like right now, I probably weigh like 168, 167. I got an 8-pack still. When I get up to 75, that's when you start losing my belly button.
That's tough. All right, the next fight we got is Zhang Wei Li versus Yan Jiaonan.
I think Zane.
Yeah,
I don't know how the fight's gonna go, but I think Zane.
yeah. I don't have too strong of a read there. I think Zhang either gets the takedowns. The thing that's tough is like even if she doesn't get the takedowns, her stand up's so good that you can't even say that Yan's gonna win on the feet. Like we don't. They're two really good strikers. We don't know.
I'll give it to Zane.
Yeah. I feel the same way.
Yeah. And then lastly, in the main event, do you have Alex Pereira or do you have Jamal Hill? Pereira. Yeah.
Bro, I'm not even gonna watch this fight.
You're not gonna watch it?
No, I'm going to Disneyland with my girl.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, that's way better.
Sweet.
Dude, I just got done fighting. I was like, my coaches asked me, they're like, hey, make sure you message Holly Holm to see if she needs you in Vegas to train. And I was like, okay. So I messaged Holly, and I was like, hey, let me know if you need me in Vegas. And she said, oh, no, they're bringing out some training partners thing. I was like, whoa, I want to get the hell out of there, man. After fight week, I'm like, get me out of here. After a win, like, man.
No. Oh. Yeah, we're good now. You there? You there? Dan, you there?
Is this mic on mute?
Yeah, we can't hear you. I think your mic's on mute, possibly. I'm not sure. It's not working still? Hold on. Try to mute, unmute, maybe. I'm not sure.
He's probably
It's
gonna
not
try
connected.
to. I think he's gonna retry it.
Yeah. I only had one other question for him. Try rejoining. Oh wait. Let's see. Hello.
Yeah.
All right,
Oh,
sweet.
awesome. Okay, yeah. We only had like one other question for you. So what were we discussing? What were we talking about?
Oh, leaving Vegas because it sucks after a fight.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Going
yeah.
to Disney.
That I hope you enjoy it. I've never been actually, but I've heard it's
Bro,
really nice.
my mom bought my fiance and I tickets for Christmas. And we were
Oh,
like, oh,
sweet.
can we use them after I fight? That
Yeah.
didn't work out. We're still going though.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. The last question we had for you was what should we expect to see from you in your next fight or like moving forward?
Well rounded. I needed to show myself that no matter how good these guys are, I could wrestle. I can out wrestle all of them.
Yeah.
In the gym, I like right now I'm working with a sports psych because I need to find my flow state so bad. I've never found it in my life. Never found it. I'm like, what the fuck? In the gym, I can kickbox with the best kickboxers. I can wrestle with the best wrestlers. I can grapple with the best grapplers in the world. I can mix it all up and go against some of the best contenders in the world in the gym and mix it all up. And I just want to be able to have that, be comfortable to do it in the cage. In the cage, I could, you know, that was my 10th professional fight or 11th, some shit like that. You know, I've been in the UFC for almost half of my professional career already.
Wow.
You know, I'm still learning, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It sucks because I'm 30,
We're
but
still very young.
you know, I'm still learning. At least I'm honest about it, and at least like while I'm learning, I'm learning in the biggest organization. I'm learning as I'm about to enter my athletic prime, where I'm going to be my strongest, my smartest, my maybe my fastest, but like definitely strongest and smartest. You know, and it's that's exciting, and I feel like I owe it to anyone who watches me and supports me to be like, yo, this is the guy that shows up in the gym every day. He's not scared to go into the octagon and lose anymore. You know, I carry that weight when I go in, and that sucks. I don't like it. I don't like it, man. Like I said, I know I can I know I can tool all these guys up on the mat, and usually that's the easiest path to victory. But I very strongly I want to show all my tools, dude. I want to show that I can fucking that I'm capable, that I've been capable of knocking people out, that I've been capable of, making a kickboxer want to wrestle with me. Like, like I'm excited for that. So hopefully, my next fight, you guys see a well-rounded, impressive fight, dude.
Yeah, of course,
Yeah.
bro. You got a fan for life here. Yeah, I really respect you, bro.
Thank you,
Yeah.
man. I appreciate you
Yeah.
guys having me on. It's always cool to talk to people, dude. I know that not everyone cares to hear what happened in there or whatever it is. No excuses here, man. I fucking the facts are I was winning and I fucked up. Big fuck up. But it's my mistake. You know, things happen in weird ways. Luckily I'll be given the opportunity to get back in there and correct it. And I even had my jujitsu professor. He's one of the best in the world. He straight up told me, he just started laughing when he saw me, and I'm like, what? He goes, you could fight that guy 100 times, and he's only gonna beat you once, and it was on that choke. Because whenever I've choked you in training, you get choked once, and then you don't get choked for the entire camp.
Wow.
You know, he's like, maybe we had to work it, or maybe you just were unaware, but that guy beat you 1 out of 100 times, and he caught you in it. And I was
Mhm.
like, damn it. And he started laughing, goes, you looked like you were hunting him.
Yeah.
Like you
Oh.
watch the
Oh yeah.
early UFC one. That's what dude, I was thinking about it the whole camp. I'm like, this is UFC one, man. Fucking kickboxer against grappler. Let's go. Kickboxer against psychopath. Let's go. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm fucking crazy in this one. I want to kill this dude. And I felt like I was hunting him. And that's what my professor said. And he just, at the end of, the training, he just goes, listen, it's better you learn these things now. You're learning them against high talent. And when the time comes when it really is time for you to go on a run, you already made all these mistakes. You already learned all these lessons at the highest level. You'll be ready to
Mhm.
go. So I was like, okay, cool. Like, that was cool to hear.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you're making the right progress. You're fighting the guys you need to fight, and or the guys that are actually going to challenge you.
Yeah.
But yeah, we know for a fact you're going to be back in there and you're going to dominate whoever it is you're fighting.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for the time you've given us. I asked for 10 minutes and we're on for 30.
Well,
Thank you. I appreciate that a lot. We
that's,
appreciate that a
that's
lot.
the girl's fault. She's late.
All right, all good. Thank you so much for coming on.
Appreciate it, guys.
Thank
All
you.
right, thank you. See you. All right. Little J, you got to get off too.
No, I'm good.
All right, you're good. All right. All right, so we just had Dan Argueta. That was a crazy good interview. It was 30 minutes.
That was great.
Yeah. He's an awesome
Amazing.
dude. He's
He's
awesome.
awesome.
Yeah, I'm gonna text him later. He's an awesome dude. All right, let me see how I'm gonna do this. All right, it's doing it again, damn it. Hold on. Yeah, I did it again. Hold on. Tapology. All right, we're gonna use Tapology because I don't want to make a whole slideshow and all that. All right, you see in UFC 300, you see me scrolling?
Yep.
Sure.
Yeah, I see it.
All right, so we're gonna hop on. So you see all this, right? We're chilling.
Yeah.
You see
Figueiredo,
Figueiredo?
Garbrandt.
Awesome. All right. Okay, first fight of the night: Davison Figueiredo versus Cody Garbrandt. Shai, do you want to start with this one?
Sure. Personally, I think obviously Figueiredo being the betting favorite by a mile. I think he has an edge in basically everywhere: striking, physicality, wrestling. Um, his size, he's always been a massive flyweight, and I think he's gonna be an even bigger um bantamweight. He walks around at like 170 or 180 or something like that. So I mean, he's always like massive for his weight division. But I think he has an edge. Obviously, the power is translated. He had Rob Font, stunned multiple times. We're talking about like Rob Font, so I think that Figueiredo personally, I think that he gets it done. But Cody Garbrandt, you can't underestimate him. I think that he's made a lot of massive changes in his in the way that he fights. He's not trying to get knocked out, and he's fighting a lot smarter. I think the line isn't correct. I think that it definitely should be closer, but I still think Figueiredo is the one who gets it done.
Yeah, I have to agree with that. I wanted to take a shot on Cody Garbrandt at plus 260, 240, 250. I really did. I finished watching all the tape I possibly could. I still do think that if you have to take a side, it's going to be Cody Garbrandt at plus 240. But because I don't think Cody Garbrandt's chin is gone. I think that that's just like a blown misconception that his chin's just not there. We've seen him fight 5 rounds against Rob Font. We've seen him 3 rounds against Trevin Jones. He held up perfectly fine. He's looked good. Davison Figueiredo. The problem with this matchup is that Cody is going to be the most of the time against these medium level fighters. He's going to be the better wrestler by, I guess, a little small margin. And in this fight, he probably isn't going to be the better wrestler. And Figgy, if he does go to wrestle, if he gets hurt, Figgy's going to snatch something up and it's going to be over. So it almost doesn't help that he knows how to wrestle, because if he does wrestle and he's done against Rob Font, he got hurt a couple of times, he'd go straight to wrestle. And Figgy's not going to pass a submission up if you're going to be hurt and wrestle. As his wrestling is really good and his BJJ is very good. And I could see Figgy hurting him on the feet. So I'm actually going to say Figgy by decision, but I'm probably not going to play anything on this fight because I think Figgy's I'd line him at like a minus 190, minus 200. So I don't really see much value anywhere. But yeah, so I'm not playing anything on this fight. So we'll go to the next one. It's let's see, Bobby Green versus Jim Miller. So on this fight, I'm gonna have to side with Bobby Green. I think the line is very accurate, a small favorite. Well, minus 190. I think that's moved a bit because the last time I saw him, he was at minus 160. Minus 190 for Bobby Green feels a little too high, but I'm just keeping in mind the minus 160 that I saw earlier in the week. I think that that's an accurate line because Bobby Green is going to be the better striker. Jim Miller's obviously going to be the better wrestler, but I don't think Jim Miller has, at 40 years old, he has the physicality and he has the wrestling to be able to take down a guy like Bobby Green, who also does have some wrestling upside. I think Bobby Green keeps distance. He manages distance extremely well. His footwork is some of the best in the division. So I think Bobby Green keeps his distance, stays safe, and over the 3 rounds, touches up Miller a bit, and probably wins a decision. But what do you think, Maurice?
I think Bobby Green's lights get put out. I think Jim Miller's got that old man strength.
Yeah, 40 years old. All right, let's talk about it. How is Miller putting out Bobby Green?
I think Bobby Green, obviously, I don't think the betting line's wrong at all. I think Bobby Green should be the favorite rightfully. He 100% is the better fighter between Jim Miller and Bobby Green, obviously. I think he has, obviously, like Bobby Green has the range on Jim Miller as well. I think honestly Bobby Green will probably put a lot of damage on Jim Miller. I think like he'll break his nose, he'll mess up an orbital or something. But Bobby Green has an issue when you get too close to him, especially when you're putting him up against a fence. We saw that in the Jude Ober fight. You know, when you have your hands down, that's great in range when you're attacking somebody. But when you're up against the fence, being pressured the entire fight, that becomes an issue because your hands are down, and obviously you can get caught a lot easier. That's what happened with Drew Dober. Drew Dober kept just putting pressure on him, putting pressure, backed him up against the fence, and finally got a KO on him. I think Jim Miller fights very similarly. I don't even think he'll even try to wrestle. I think he'll just try to strike with Bobby Green. He'll probably take a lot of damage, put him up against the fence at some point, just from all that pressure. And I honestly think he'll get a KO on him, or like a
Okay.
TKO.
What round are you thinking? Sounds like it's
Um,
late, like 2 or 3.
yeah, 2 or 3.
2 or 3. Okay, so you're saying round 2 or 3, Jim Miller KO, and I'm saying Bobby Green decision. So, but I'm honestly -190. If that's the correct odds on Typology, which sometimes are wrong, but I saw -150 for Green. -190 feels too high. Jim Miller's not like retired yet.
No.
He's looked better than Bobby Green has
Bobby Green
recently.
got KO'd literally his
I just think
last
it's a
fight.
style thing that I think Bobby Green takes pressure well. And if he's like one of those guys that like just likes to be a kickboxer, then I would go Miller. But I think Green's different. But yeah, we'll move on to the next one because that one doesn't really. I'm not betting that one
Yeah.
because Bobby Green's recently got knocked out, so I'm not interested in that. The next one's Jessica Andrade versus Marina Rodriguez. I know you and I both agree. Well, I don't know. We haven't talked in a couple of days, but you can go ahead and
Andrade,
start with this.
Andrade doesn't have a chin. Her chin's gone. Marina Rodriguez, I mean, I'm not saying she's fucking Conor McGregor or anything like that, but you know, she can strike. I mean, Jessica Andrade's chin is just gone. It's decimated. It doesn't exist anymore. So it's I'd have to take Marina Rodriguez probably just by decision.
What do you mean her chin doesn't is non-existent? What does that
It's
mean?
non-existent. Andrade, she can't take shots anymore.
I mean, yeah, she's coming off a KO against Yan Jianan. She beats Mackenzie Dern. I cashed on Jessica Andrade as a +170 on Mackenzie Dern. That was a bad line. Bad line. Styles make matchups. Jessica Andrade was a +170 to Mackenzie Dern. Mackenzie Dern was a -200.
Uh-huh.
And that's just a bad line. Jessica Andrade doesn't get taken down easily. Mackenzie Dern doesn't have good takedowns. So you put the two together and you somehow create a -200 for Dern. When if the fight gets to the ground, she's a -200, but how does it get to the ground, right? That doesn't make sense. This matchup, I've seen a lot of people publicly taking Jessica Andrade. That's everybody's favorite pick. I'm gonna go with Marina Rodriguez because I've seen arguments about Jessica Andrade and the fact that they know for a fact, for some reason, that she's going to wrestle here and she's going to wrestle Marina Rodriguez and she's going to beat her. If you promised me that Jessica Andrade, if she came up to me and told me I'm going to wrestle this chick, I would take her. I'd take her as well. The thing is that we haven't seen that in a long time. And people like to look at the matchup and go, oh, well, she shouldn't have wrestled Mackenzie Dern. She shouldn't have wrestled any of the other people that she wrestled, which I can agree to an extent, but she just doesn't scream to me, oh, I'm a wrestler. She doesn't scream a wrestler. She screams, I'm a power puncher. I will wrestle if I get hurt. But if I'm not hurt, I want to stand up. And if we're going to do a 3-round kickboxing match, I'm taking Marina Rodriguez. She's the more technical fighter. She's the better striker. She's shown the better durability. And she doesn't run into punches like Jessica Andrade did. There's so many things she did wrong against Yan Jianan that got her KO'd in the first round very easily. And Marina Rodriguez, I could see her having the same success if Jessica Andrade went in recklessly like she did against Yan Jianan, because I don't believe Yan Jianan has more power than Marina Rodriguez. But yeah, I'm going to go Marina Rodriguez at plus money. I believe she's +117 on Bet Online. So I'm going to wait. I'm not betting it yet. I'm going to wait to see if Andrade becomes a bigger favorite for some reason. And see, like, because I like to do that with fights where, like, I think the line could continue going. So I'm gonna wait and see if I can get Marina Rodriguez at plus 120 or plus 130. I'm gonna be happy to get that on possibly fight day. But yeah, so I guess we're both on that one. How do you think Marina Rodriguez gets it done?
I think it's just probably just by decision, to be honest. She doesn't have a whole
Say it
lot
again?
of power. Probably just by decision. I mean, she doesn't have a whole lot of power. She's not. I don't know. I don't think she's really like a submission person. I'm pretty sure she got ragdolled by Yonderoba for like 3 rounds straight. So like, I mean, it's probably if she won, it would probably just be by decision.
Yeah, I see that. That's another thing that's interesting is like obviously Yonderova, like people will love to hate on her and whatever. But she's been stacking up these wins.
Dominant wrestler.
And Marina Rodriguez, people talk about how bad her takedown defense is, which in that fight it looked pretty bad. But the more wins that John Durova gets, the more you look, you're like, well, yes, the other girls have taken down Marina Rodriguez, but that fight's the most recent where she's been dominated on the ground. And so the more wins John Durova gets, the better that loss looks for Marina Rodriguez. But recency bias will tell you that Jessica Andrade is going to KO Marina Rodriguez. So we will see. Next fight, Jalen Turner versus Moicano. You can go ahead.
Yeah. Honestly, I like Moicano. Moicano's one of my favorite fighters from the first time I had seen him. But I just don't see how he wins this fight. Jalen Turner is just this different beast. I mean, he fights. He has a very long frame, but he fights at such short distance, which I like. Unlike fighters like Randy Brown, where they have very long frames, but they don't fight from close distance, so they get KO'd pretty easily from shorter people. But Jalen Turner, he's got a long frame, but he fights in close range, and I like that about him. He's got decent takedown defense. Obviously, we saw what Gamrot did to him, but Moicano is not Gamrot. Moicano goes for the same trip in every fight, and he never gets it. That's his only way he ever tries to take people down. So I just don't see how Jalen Turner doesn't win this fight.
Yeah. So I've watched all the tape. I remember I told you that I believed Moicano did have a chance. And I actually do still agree. I think Jalen Turner wins the fight if he finishes early. But we've seen Jalen Turner against Dan Hooker start to fade. We've seen him fade. We've seen him get taken down by Dan Hooker, controlled by Dan Hooker for a good amount, almost rear naked choked by
I mean,
Dan Hooker.
that was definitely when he was like really gassed for sure.
Right, for sure. But at the same time, again, I think that the finishing upsides all the way at the beginning is for Turner. If Turner lands the head kick that he landed on Hooker, like Moicano's not waking up, you know. But if you got it just begs the question, like if Hooker was able to take him down, get to the back, almost rear naked choke him, what does Moicano do? So I see this could be the parlay buster of the week, but I'm taking Turner to win, but I'm probably gonna end up taking Moicano round 2 and round. Holy sh! Yo, that lane is crazy.
Yo,
it felt like a win. I was thinking back in time. I was like, wait a minute.
That was a master slave owner.
What's it called? Jalen Turner round 1, probably KO. I'll play that. I'll just play both sides. I'll play Turner first round KO. I'll get some crazy odds on that, and then I'll play Moicano round 2 and round 3 submission.
Yeah, I think Moicano. Moicano could definitely. I was gonna say Moicano submission. I mean, he does have good submission skills, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I just think I see most of the time you want to see the old guy. 34 years old is old, I guess, but the old guy fighting the young guy. The young guy's gonna go in and destroy him. And then you see it get to the second round, and then you're like, wait a minute, why did I bet Turner when Moicano has more experience, has fought the better competition? We've seen there's warning signs about Turner. The Dan Hooker fight is the biggest warning sign. Dan Hooker doesn't take anybody down. Dan Hooker doesn't he's not that great at least groundwork. He's great striking or whatever, but his groundwork needs improvement. But he almost submitted Turner. So the warning signs are there. So I'll take Turner. The pick is gonna be Turner. But I think that if it doesn't get done in the first half of the fight, the first 7.5 minutes, Moicano takes over. So possibly a live bet as well. Maybe take Turner minus 230. He looks great in the first round, bumps up to minus 500, and then you take Moicano at plus 350. So you get Turner at minus 230, Moicano at plus 350. You secure profit, and then I really think past the first half of the fight, if it gets there, Moicano takes over. So I'm not too confident in Turner this week, like everybody else is. He's like the lock of the week for a lot of people. Do you feel like he's like a lock? Do you feel like you don't really see Moicano doing anything?
No, I think Moicano. I mean, I do feel like Jalen Turner wins, but Moicano has he's fought a lot of tough competition, like a lot of good fighters. He's got a lot of experience. So I mean, he's the more experienced fighter. There's definitely a chance that he wins for sure.
Yeah. All right, we got I'm interested. I haven't asked you about this fight. Sadiq Youssef versus Diego Lopez. I'll let you go first.
I think people are definitely sleeping on Sadiq Youssef. I think Diego Lopez. I mean, I really like what Diego Lopez has done so far in his career. I think he's been extremely dominant. But people are really sleeping on Sadiq Youssef just because of the Barbosa fight, I feel, and just because like they're not super well versed in all of his fights that he has had. But he's a dog, like he's really good. He's a very good striker. He's got a lot of power. Diego Lopez, though, I mean, there's a reason why he's the favorite right now. So that's all I got.
Yeah, who's your like official pick for this one? Or is that you don't know? You're gonna.
I'm kind of in the middle there. It's just like I think Diego Lopez. I haven't really, even though like he's been very dominant in what he has done, I haven't seen as much as I've seen out of Sadiq Youssef. So it's tough to be able to choose from somebody that you have like almost like no tape on. But like what you have seen has just been very, very good. So it's very difficult to make that judgment for me.
I feel the same way. I think this fight is really. I literally see breakdowns on both guys, and I go, oh yeah, they're good. Yeah, Lopez is gonna win, and then I see Youssef. I'm like, well, Youssef's got to be the sharp side. Youssef is gonna win, but yeah, I think that the lines makers are. I think there's this sliver of value on Sadiq Youssef at plus 115 because Sadiq Youssef, if you eliminate. So Youssef isn't going to be looking for offensive wrestling. We can just like put that out there now. If he does, like he probably loses, and but like he's shown that he has good IQ. So if we just say, okay, Youssef isn't going to be looking for offensive wrestling, and the fight doesn't get to the ground, it's a straight up stand up fight. I think Youssef has to be the favorite here. Youssef has shown to be the more durable guy. He's shown. He has just a better overall well-rounded striking. Diego Lopez has a lot of power. He mixes in the grappling with the striking well. He has a great balance between the two. But if you just take both guys' takedowns and both of their guys grappling and eliminate it and say, okay, these guys are going to strike, because sometimes that happens with like wrestler versus wrestler. They just go and strike. So if you get Sadiq being a good wrestler and then Lopez being a good wrestler / BJJ, and you eliminate the two, I think Youssef is the better stand-up guy. Mm-hmm. Something that I did see that worried me about the Youssef side is I can't believe I'm blanking now.
What, cardio?
No, it was hold on. Andre Philly. He beats Andre Philly in a decision, but in the first round, he gets taken down by Andre Philly. That's not a good sign. He gets taken down. He pops right back up, but he does get taken down. He gets controlled for like 5 seconds. He pops right back up. That's a good sign, but at the same time, Andre Philly, I think Diego Lopez is more physical, and he's going to be able to get to the ground better than Andre Philly would. He's a good wrestler, but like I think Diego Lopez has more for him. So like it's like if Andre Philly's taking you down, I don't know if I want to bet on you to keep the fight on the feet. I think I think that the lines makers got it right here. I don't really think there's much value. I might look live. If Lopez looks like he can't get a takedown, like if it's just like they're standing up and maybe he has a little bit of success early, I might look for a live bet on Yusuf. If I know for a fact that Yusuf isn't going to be controlled on the ground, because if he gets taken down, he's probably going to get submitted, or at least controlled for the round. So if I see, it depends on what I see live, but in the first round, if I see Lopez doing well on the feet, but not getting takedowns and like almost not interested in takedowns, I'll probably grab Yusuf at a bigger plus money dog, because I don't think Lopez can continue that for 15 minutes. We've seen against Mozart Evloev. That was a crazy fight, but he had nothing to lose in that fight. And this is like way more expectation, way more. The lights are brighter. So I don't think he'll be able to hold up 15 minutes, just a striking matchup with Yusuf. But I think he can look good early. So I'll probably just look live for Yusuf, but for now, it's just a stay away. Do you think this fight goes decision, or do you see a finish?
I don't think you can see a decision here.
Really?
I mean, I don't know.
I see a decision.
You see a decision? That's tough.
How so? I think it's favored to go decision.
And just that Sadiq Youssef, we saw what he did to Barbosa in that first round. But Barbosa is known to be like tough as nails. You know, this dude like never gets put out like that. Um, I don't know if I can say the same about Diego Lopez just because I'm not as well versed in his career. Obviously Barbosa has like dozens more fights than him.
I want to say he's only been starched one time. Like he got just a perfect right hand in before the UFC. He got perfectly timed just a right hand, and he got dropped and he got finished there. But other than that, I don't think he's been KO'd like that.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Is just that I don't know that Diego Lopez has fought the amount of competition that I don't think he's fought someone at the level of competition as Sadiq Youssef, and I don't want to see it as like, oh, you know, Diego Lopez got a KO or submission like really early on in the round or something. So he's like this high, like hyped person. Sadiq Youssef is not just somebody that you can just beat like the same way that you can beat, Sabatini. Sabatini gets beat by everybody. So, Sadiq Youssef, he's the toughest challenge that he has. Um, I it's very very difficult. Sadiq Youssef has a lot of power. We saw it, like I said, we saw what he did to Barbosa in that first round. I don't know if Diego Lopez would be able to keep up with the same amount of pressure if Sadiq comes out like that again. But um, and also Diego Lopez, though, he's also the same thing for him as well as is KO power and submission skills. So there is a chance. I just feel like that if one of them wins, it's either like a submission or like a KO somewhere. I just don't see it going a decision.
Put 50 G's on it right now, nigga.
Bro, 50 G's on it.
You will.
I got
So
that.
fight doesn't go is minus 175. So it's favored to not go the decision. But I think I'll be playing. So the over and under is 1.5 at minus 180. I'm probably going to play a ladder on over 1.5 at minus 180, and then fight goes to decision at plus 145. Sadiq Youssef has shown nothing but durability for me. Barbosa is one of the more dangerous older guys in the division. Obviously, we saw what he did to Billy Q.
He's dangerous as
and just
hell.
in general, I mean, we've seen the highlight reels. He's one of the most dangerous guys in the division, and Sadiq Youssef got hurt. He started grappling. He just never showed that he's not a durable guy, or he takes damage extremely well. That's what he's shown us. And I think on the side of Diego Lopez, we can't be positive about it. He has been flatlined one time before the UFC. I'm not sure if Sadiq Youssef has obviously these guys are UFC level, so they will have like one punch KO. What are they? 145, I guess. We haven't seen that out of Sadiq Youssef necessarily, but I think if Diego Lopez does get hurt, it's immediately to the guard and it's immediately BJJ, and then you got like him basically getting a break. So I actually think that this fight, I think the value is on the fight going the distance, because you're getting two guys that are dangerous. Again, styles make matchups. You're getting two guys that are dangerous when they go fight other guys, but now you got two durable guys, right, that we know of at least. Sadiq Youssef, we've seen durable. We can guarantee like he's durable. And then we have Diego Lopez, where it's a bit of a question mark. But these guys always have that BJJ. They can just fall on their back and play guard. And they know Sadiq Youssef isn't going to go with them, because if they go with them, they're probably getting submitted. So
Yeah.
you're always getting those BJJ guys. Sometimes it depends on the ref as well. But you got those BJJ guys that if they get hurt, they're going to fall on their back and they're not going to get finished. So I'll probably play a ladder there. That's going to be probably my first bet of the card, which is crazy because we've done like 4 fights already. But yeah, so I'm going to do a ladder for fight goes the distance. So yeah, what is like, if you had to give like a prediction right now on this fight, you're taking who?
Probably take Diego Lopez as much as I wouldn't want to. I'd probably still have to
By
take Diego
what?
Lopez.
Submission?
Probably, yeah. I'd probably say submission, Diego Lopez. As well, same thing with the, UFC politics. Diego Lopez is a rising star. I'm sure they want to give him a favorable matchup.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really interesting too about the UFC with this specific matchup is they're actually giving us a really good high level, like even fight, which is interesting because they should want Diego Lopez to. I mean, we're seeing Bo Nickel versus Cody Brundage, so
Yeah.
like
I,
you
I,
see minus 2,400, which
oh,
we'll get to that later,
I was
but
gonna say,
I already have a
I'll wait.
feeling.
I'll wait for that one.
Yeah, I already have a feeling.
Can we
But all
skip
right,
this one?
huh? Yeah, honestly, I'm like, should we even break this down? Holly Holm versus Kayla Harrison. Kayla Harrison probably wins the fight, probably grapples.
If she makes weight.
Yeah, that's the problem. That's almost why for me it's like sometimes people will ask me specific fights. I hate when people just like give me a bet for Holly Holm versus Kayla Harrison, and I'm like, I don't feel comfortable doing that because I'd rather give you a bet on a random fight. Maybe you're not going to watch it, but I'd rather give you a bet that I actually like, that I think has an edge, which is how you make money. Rather than giving you just like you want to watch this fight, so you want to bet for the fight. This is a stay away because Holly Holm is 42 years old, and Kayla Harrison is fought at PFL at 155. So, and this is going to be a 135. So, firstly, is the fight even going to happen, right? And then that's the first challenge. And then secondly, who knows what Kayla Harrison looks like outside the first if she's cutting, I don't know, 40 pounds. So yeah, I think that just don't bet this fight. Like I don't see the point. But yeah, we'll skip this one. It's we're saying skip, but in reality, it's just like don't bet it. Like we don't really know. This fight's another interesting one. I want to have a bet just like maybe for entertainment, but there's a couple of question marks on this fight that I guess people don't see. But do you want to start this one out? Sterling versus Cater.
Yeah, sure. I want to say right off the bat, I think Sterling is an amazing fighter. I think Cater also is an amazing fighter. I I think that Sterling's boxing, I think is sleepy. I think it's super slept on. I think he's got really good striking, really good hands. Distance might be an issue. Cater's also a very good striker. Good takedown defense. Aljamain Sterling's just he's been big for the weight class, but he's fast and he can find that back. I mean, if he has the same game plan that he had for Jan, I don't see how Calvin Cater gets out of this fight awake. But it's tough. Me personally, I'm going with Aljamain Sterling. As much as I like Calvin Cater and as much as I've rooted for Calvin Cater in the past, I just kind of I have to go with Aljamain Sterling.
Yeah. I'll go with Aljamain Sterling as well. I think that I don't think that minus 140 price is there anymore. I think it's minus 170, which I think is a bit overpriced. I would barely give an edge to Sterling. Yeah, minus 170 for Sterling. I think that the value's got to be on Cater at plus 150, but minus 170 for Sterling. He should be able to get takedowns, which again is another thing where we're not positive because, like, obviously 4 years ago, we were saying Sterling is the worst fighter anybody's ever seen, and we disrespected this guy as much as we can, and now he's a minus 170 to Cater, who's a real fighter, like a top contender. So it's a bit of recency bias. Like if you would have told me 4 years ago Sterling's minus 170, I'm putting all my money on Cater, because Sterling just wasn't good. Or when you look statistically, Sterling still isn't good when you look statistically, because he shoots 100 takedowns and he gets 4. So it's like he can't get takedowns. His takedowns are interesting. We can say interesting. So it really depends on, does Cater defend the takedowns or not? And Cater has a very high takedown defense, but he hasn't really been tested by anybody with Sterling's level. So that's where I said earlier on, I said, I'm probably not going to bet on this one. And I'm not going to send anything out for this one. I have Sterling over 1.5 takedowns, and that one's strictly a volume game, because I think that by the end of the night, he'll have 15 takedowns attempted. So if out of 15 attempted, can he get 2? I do think he can get 2. But do I think for sure he's going to get 1 per round? I'm not even sure. Because Sterling's takedown offense hasn't been spectacular. That's what the takedown accuracy says. And then Cater, we don't really know how his takedown defense looks. The stats say it's good, but he hasn't been tried by anybody real. So there's a lot of questions that if you can't be solid on either side, you really can't. And most of the time, if you can't be solid on either side, you want to take the plus 150 for the value on Cater. But Sterling is moving up weight classes, so he should be more comfortable, and he was champ. So I would give us a very slight lean to Aljamain Sterling.
I would give a slight lean to the greatest bantamweight champion of all time.
So we're moving on. Yeah, greatest bantamweight. I don't know about that one. All right. Who do you have, Rakic or Prochazka?
I don't like Prochazka. I think he's an extremely overrated fighter. I think he's a warrior. Don't get me wrong. I think he's a warrior. If we went back in times, he truly would be one of those, gladiators or like those samurai warriors. But his fight style, he's got that lead leg out all the time. Rakic loves chewing up legs. He doesn't defend himself. His striking is honestly like really not good, and he's slow too. I honestly don't even know how he got to the position that he's in. I think it's just because he's durable. So I can't really go with Prochazka against someone like Rakic. But it is difficult because Rakic is coming off of a really hard injury. So
yeah, I think that's why the line is the way it is because which is tough. I think Rakic wins this fight. I just can't place a bet on him because of the injury and because Prochazka is so interesting in his striking. He's very awkward about his striking. I think Rakic will be able to control that. I think that he'll be able to wrestle if he feels uncomfortable, which is also always in the back pocket. And we see Rakic does have good fight IQ. So I think specifically with his Jerry matchup, I think what it's going to be is the leg kicks are going to be strong for Rakic. And I think that when he gets uncomfortable on the feet, the takedowns will be there for Rakic. And I think that'll give him the win. But you never know how fighters come off of injury. Sometimes they're scared to throw. Sometimes we don't know the behind the scenes about this injury and the surgery and all that. So I'm probably going to stay away from this one. If I end up making like a degenerate bet, it'll be on Rakic though, for sure. Let's see. Bo Nickel Brundage. All right.
Here we go.
I'm going Bo Nickel.
Cody Brundage.
Bo Nickel is most like this. Brundage will look good in the first 30 seconds. The crowd will start hurrahing like, oh my god, like Brundage landed or he touched Nickel, like he touched him, But I think Brundage my thing with Brundage. Obviously, there's no value on a minus 240, so we can just skip this one in a second. But thing with Brundage is he throws and he gets hurt really bad, really easily, very fragile. And when he gets hurt, he wrestles, and you just can't do that against Nickel. So yeah, he's gonna bite the bullet. But what are you thinking?
Yeah, nah, basically the same thing. I mean, Cody Brundage. I mean, for sure, Cody Brundage is a step up from a massive step up from fucking who was it? Val Woodburn. You
Hey,
know,
relax.
massive step up. But I think that Cody Brundage. I don't agree with the line at all. But I don't think he
No,
wins either.
no. I was watching. I'm looking back at the fights. I mean, this guy's fought. Oh my God. Now
Who was
it's
that last
funny.
guy that he fought? He got that slam
Rodolfo
KO.
Vieira and Mikhail Olajaychik. Those are top.
Those are
Like
tough
Mikhail
fights.
Olajaychik, he quit his camp and he looked terrible against Michel Pereira. But other than that, like if we remove that fight, like Mikhail Olajaychik is a very good fighter, 17-5. Rodolfo
Mhm.
Vieira, very very good fighter. Gets to the second round, loses by arm triangle because he went for guillotine. So Cedric Dumas,
He took
obviously he's
that
not
on
the
like weak
best, but
notice.
Jacob Malkoon, that was not shouldn't have been a win, but it was. So I mean, like plus 1100 is disrespectful, but I might take a shot at him just because. But
I think anybody at that line, you have to kind of put some money
yeah,
on.
it's
You
four
have
ounce
to.
gloves, so minus 250, the biggest favorite of all time, I think.
Yeah, of all time. Yeah.
Yeah, biggest favorite of all time. I'm probably gonna take Brundage and put $5 on it. But yeah, Bo Nickel's probably winning this one. Um, okay, Charles Oliveira, Armin Sarukian. Who do you got here?
You know, I have to go with Oliveira. Champ has a name. I'm saying it to the day I die. Charles
That's it.
Oliveira.
How's he get it
Yep.
done?
I think Armand. You hit him with a jab and he starts doing the chicken dance. I think Charlie, he's got some power. Think I think to be fair though, to play devil's advocate as well, Sarukian is very well versed in wrestling. I think Oliveira's wrestling is extremely overrated. He never uses it, and when he does get taken down, he doesn't know what to do with it. He goes for submissions, and if he doesn't get them, then he gets subbed like he did with Islam. So so obviously Islam is champ for a reason though. But Arman Sarukian, I think his striking is honestly pretty basic. Like it's not even overrated. I mean, it's just basic. Yeah, he KO'd. Who was it? This guy,
Priscos
old guy.
Giagos.
No, I was gonna say the other
Oh,
dude.
Benio Dariush.
Yeah, Giagos gets KO'd by everybody though.
Yeah,
But
he's the
Dariush gets
community KO win.
yeah. He's like the town bike, but for KOs. He just gets KO'd. Same thing with Dariush. I mean, he's got KO'd by both of these guys actually. But yeah, so I mean like it's I think Arman Sarukian, he just hasn't fought the level of competition that Oliveira has. Oliveira has been champion. He's fought these fights. He's fought against up and comers. He's fought against people like Justin Gaethje, right? Who I would probably consider to be an even better fighter than Sarukian. Um, and obviously he's won in all of these fights except for against Islam. Um, I think I don't want to disrespect Arman Sarukian either. Obviously, he had that really good fight with Islam Makhachev earlier in their career, but at an underdog, what is Oliveira like 180 or
190.
190? Yeah, at 190, you have to go Oliveira.
Yeah, I agree completely. But I do give a better chance, and it sucks all week because I hate feeling like I'm public, um, because public always loses. So
Yeah,
I can see Sarukian getting takedowns, controlling him, and being super boring, and winning a decision. But I have to take Oliveira at plus 190 because um, Oliveira, I've been told everybody that Islam was going to beat Oliveira badly. He had him covered everywhere.
yeah.
And guess what that line was? Islam was minus 250. And so I took that line. I ran to the bank. Actually, he was like minus 180, and then he bumped to minus 250. So I grabbed like a lot of action on minus 180. Grabbed him. I grabbed some more at 250 on fight day, because he had Oliveira covered everywhere. Now we have the exact same line, minus 225, for a guy that doesn't have the better stand up than Islam. He doesn't have the better wrestling than Islam. Sarukian loves to just power through and go single and double. He's amazing at that.
Mm-hmm.
But that provides holes for Oliveira to exploit.
Yeah.
I'm not the biggest Charles fan, but I know that Islam, the reason why he had so much success is because we've seen it in all his fights. He doesn't immediately go and shoot those doubles and get caught in guillotines. He trips. He obviously wrestles with Khabib. They learn how to stay out of those things. And the trips are the main thing for me. I have the breakdown written in on my profile, but Islam trips. That's how he gets Oliveira down. How does Sarukian get him down? That's the part where people used to be like, oh, how are you going to take Oliveira down? How is Islam going to take Oliveira down? And it was trips. If Sarukian comes out and he works on his trips and he starts getting good trips on Oliveira, negates the submissions, then he's going to look great. And the bet's down the toilet, but it was a plus 190. But I can't bet on something that he hasn't shown us yet. Sarukian, when a shot against Christos Giagos, he actually got reversed. He got his hips, like Giagos just put his hips in Sarukian's face, pushed him off, got on top. I don't think Oliveira necessarily is going to have the same wrestling base that Giagos does, but Giagos isn't good. We just got to face the facts here. And Oliveira, it's like, again, it's the recency bias thing. It's like I used to be screaming from the rooftops, like Oliveira is not that amazing compared to Islam. And now I'm the one saying, hey guys, like Sarukian's not Islam. Like the two aren't equal. Islam is 2 times the fighter that Sarukian is. So yeah, we'll see. But I really doubt Sarukian, even if he wins this fight, I doubt he covers this line. This line is just indicating that Oliveira gets taken down, he gets controlled, he doesn't do much off his back, and Oliveira is just an obedient little BJJ guy. And he just doesn't go for submissions and he loses a decision. I can't see that. I think Oliveira is going to be the more damaging striker. I think Oliveira is going to throw up submissions when he gets on his back. And I mean, he sweeps as well. So we'll see. We'll see. Stuff. But plus 190, I don't know how you can take Sarukian at minus 230 against the former champ when Sarukian's best win is do we want to count Beneil Dariush as his best win?
Yo, that's not even a good win, to be honest. I mean, it was definitely like electrifying seeing it live, but like, come on,
Who is
Dariush.
Sarukian's best win?
He lost to Gamrot and he lost to Islam. He beat Dariush.
It has to be Dariush. There's nobody else, or else it's Christos Giagos. So I don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, Justin Gaethje versus Max Holloway.
Max Holloway.
How?
Max Holloway is I feel like he's the better boxer. I think Justin Gaethje's his boxing is completely overrated. I thought it was pretty satisfying seeing him get subbed by Charles Oliveira. Especially after all that talk that he was saying. But I don't know. He's not a good boxer. He's not a good wrestler. He doesn't wrestle. He just has power. That's all it is. And Max Holloway, he's just immune to it. He's just immune to damage. So it's like somebody who's able to mix it up like Volkanovski was the only person that's ever been able to really like take away what Max Holloway is. But I mean, that's basically the same thing with Justin Gaethje. I feel like there is a stylistic matchup there that was favorable to Gaethje. With the whole everyone always talks about the leg kicks from Gaethje. I know it used to be something like he used to do a lot where he would get like leg kicks and and just like throw him hard and get like a lot of power on him. But I just haven't seen that out of him recently. If he brings that back with Max Holloway, like the same way that we saw Volkanovski do to Holloway with the leg kicks and fighting from the outside, I think that is basically like if you were to do exactly how Holloway or how Volkanovski fights, which is almost exactly how like Justin Gaethje fights, then like then there will be a chance. But if he's not throwing leg kicks like he would do before, um, I I feel like Max Holloway takes this 5 rounds.
Yeah, I you have to favor Holloway in the 5 round fight. I don't know how Gaethje. Um, I mean, like obviously, I was about to say something, but it was blasphemous. I was gonna say I don't know how Gaethje wins a decision. That's not what I was gonna say. I was gonna say I don't know how you can favor Gaethje in a 5 round fight rather than a three. I think that the price that they had at -200, minus well, it opened at like -225. So let's just say -200. I think that price could possibly be justified in a 3 round, but in a 5 round, like after the second or third, like obviously Gaethje can even finish the fight in the fifth, so the power is gonna stay there for Gaethje. But um, I think past the third, Holloway turns it on, and Gaethje, for example, with this fight with Fiziev, there wasn't much grappling in that fight, and yet Gaethje still looked tired in the 3rd round. So did Fiziev, but um, Gaethje was just basically standing and just like wanting to box, like man to man, just boxing. And like Holloway in the 3rd round, he's still hopping around. He's still managing range, managing like the striking. So I think Holloway in the 3rd, 4th, and 5th looks like a different fighter than he does in the first. Gaethje maybe touches him a bit in the first, maybe hurts him in the second a little bit, but 3rd, 4th, and 5th, Holloway's going to be the fresher guy, and Gaethje's going to be the one slowing down. Holloway's the one that's going to keep his range, keep throwing that jab, just doing like his regular weapons. And I think Gaethje slows down, and Holloway either steals a decision or he, in my opinion, he most likely wins a decision, but he could also possibly finish it late, 4th or 5th. I've seen a lot of people saying by submission. I mean, if it happens, I'm gonna be insane and think about them, but I don't understand it.
Yeah, I don't see that.
They're real people, like they're like you know them, like we've spoke about them. Round 3, round 4, round 5 submission at like plus 5,000 or something.
Oh, got it. Yeah. All right. Interesting.
But yeah, so I'm taking Holloway. I think by a decision, but I think that the KO is live as well in the 4th or 5th. But yeah, so I think I smacked that line. It opened at plus 200. I saw some people got it at plus 200. But yeah, I grabbed that 185, and it's all the way down to 130 now, which is what I texted you. I texted you. I said, this line is just wrong. Like there's no doubt about it. Whether you like him or not, Holloway's not a plus 180 here. So yeah, I grabbed that for 2 units. All right, this fight, I'm taking Yan Xiaonan, okay, plus 320 or whatever her line is to beat Wei Li and take the belt. I think Yan Xiaonan is the better striker. I think she is going to be able to, after getting taken down in the 1st and 2nd round, yada, yada, yada. Wei Li, she looked great against Lemos on the ground. She was threatening, finishing the fight, and there was a chance she finishes the fight early as well. But I think Yan Xiaonan is the best striker besides Thug Rose that Wei Li has fought, and I think Yan Xiaonan is just going to basically like just be there for 5 rounds. That's something that Wei Li hasn't seen out of a lot of girls that she's fought because of how low level the fighting is. But I don't think Yan Xiaonan is a better fighter. I think Wei Li's the better fighter. I think Wei Li should be a big favorite, but I'm still going to take Yan because I think Yan's going to be the first girl besides Thug Rose that is going to be there for 5 rounds. And so, yeah, what do you think about this one?
I think Wei Li makes Zhang.
Yeah, you're a square.
Zhang Yonan her bitch.
Yeah, you're a square.
Yeah, I think she makes her bitch. Like on.
Do you think she finishes her?
I think there's definitely a chance. I don't. I mean, to be honest though, I mean, they're women's MMA hardly ever have like knockouts or anything like that. Probably by submission, but honestly, probably just a decision. But Zhang Weili, I mean, she's a different beast. She's. I'm not even gonna talk about the casual stuff like her picking up Ngannou or whatever, but or like Shaq or whatnot. Um, but Zhang Weili, she is that is a man right there fighting in a women's division. I have to go with her.
Damn. That's how I feel about Lemos when Lemos fights. I'm like, I actually faded her against Mackenzie Dern. But I don't think I'll ever do that again. I think I've always bet on Lemos, and except for the Mackenzie Dern fight. And it's just like she's basically when you watch her fight, she's like a dude in there. Same with Doug Rose. I can't fade Doug Rose.
Yeah,
All right,
can't do
main
it.
event. I'm pretty sure you're wrong about this one, but who do you have in this one?
You know who I got? Jamal
What?
Hill.
Oh, Jamal
Jamal
Hill.
Hill.
Yeah, you're wrong. How does Jamal Hill get it done?
Jamal KOs Alex Pereira viciously,
Okay.
savagely.
Uh-huh. Okay. Okay. So I'm gonna be on Alex Pereira here. Um, I wish I could get a better line than -130 because so many Jamal Hill fans are coming out the closet and saying he's very confident he's gonna finish Alex Pereira. So I wish their accounts were worth anything because they're putting money down and they're not moving a cent of the line. So
The
their
TikTok
accounts are worth
edits got
absolutely
to you.
nothing. What happened?
All the TikTok edits got to you about Pereira.
There, I don't even see TikTok. I see
All the
Oliveira. That's why I feel
TikTok,
bad.
Instagram, real edits got to you.
I feel bad because I think Oliveira is gonna. I mean, he's so public. It's like, how can the sportsbooks allow him to win? He's getting bet so much and the line's not moving. That's not a good thing.
No, it's definitely not a good
But
thing.
yeah, it's the same with Jamal Hill. So I mean, it'll even out. But Pereira, um, better kickboxer, right? So we'll start there. Overall, better by Jamal Hill by a mile. Stand-up kickboxing. Jamal Hill doesn't like to wrestle. If he were to wrestle here, I'm not even sure if that would necessarily help him.
I don't
Because
think
I think
so.
Pereira has shown better improved takedown defense um, and I think the cardio would favor Alex Pereira in the third, fourth round if it gets there. If Jamal Hill is grappling, because I think Jamal Hill can't sustain that type of cardio. Um, but I think Pereira probably finishes him in the second. I'm going to say by KO. I think Pereira. I think Jamal Hill will start feeling those leg kicks. He thinks he can just get out the way. He's made TikToks saying like, "Oh, I'll just move my leg. I'm not going to get hit." But Pereira will catch him with the leg kicks. Um,
Mm,
he'll probably start hurting him just like he did against Jury. And Jamal Hill will start throwing long combinations out of range. And Pereira is a sniper, and he'll snipe Jamal Hill probably in the second or third.
I think that I think I can agree on the majority of what you said there. I think that there's differences between someone like Jamal Hill and Jerry Blackwood or Jerry Prohashka. Um,
New mythic fighter.
yeah, new mythic fighter. Um, yeah, no, Blackowicz, Prohashka, Prohashka. I feel like it's almost like disrespectful to compare Prohashka to Jamal Hill. Prohashka, he's not a good fighter, to be honest. He was champ just because somebody else couldn't be, basically. I mean, he honestly isn't that good. The reason why Alex Pereira was eating up his legs so much was because Prohashka leaves his leg out like Conor McGregor, and he also doesn't defend his face. So I think Jamal Hill is a lot better at protecting himself. I'm not saying he's got perfect defense either. I definitely see that there are holes, like the fact that he usually carries his hands pretty low, not as low as Jiri, but pretty low still. Um, but Prohashka, he leaves his leg out there. He was getting eaten up by that. He wasn't checking him either. Um, and when he throws his shots, he's slow as hell. Jamal Hill, he's fast. He's faster than Pereira. I think that left hook that everybody talks about by Pereira, I think that fast as hell because you almost never see it. But I think Jamal Hill's tough. I think there's a reason why he has that record that he has now. I think he's only lost like one fight before. I think there's a reason for that. I think it's because he always finds a way to win. Um, and uh, and I honestly just feel like he'll find it against Pereira.
Yeah, that's one thing I say about Jamal Hill is that 12-1, and the one loss he has, there's not a lot of guys in the UFC that can replicate Paul Craig. It's just like if Topuria went and lost to Ryan Hall. It's like, yeah, maybe like Topuria's still undefeated, but even if he did lose to Ryan Hall, it's like, okay, not a lot of guys that you're gonna fight are gonna be Ryan Hall, especially at the title. You know, Ryan Hall is not gonna be a champion. So in reality, you look at 12-1, but Alex Pereira doesn't stand a chance to be able to do anything like Paul Craig did. So, and like when you look at stylistically in this fight, he's basically undefeated. Alex Pereira did get hurt by Jiri, so it's definitely a tough fight. I
think Jamal Hill's also a Brazilian killer.
What happened?
I think Jamal Hill's also a Brazilian killer.
Because he beat Glover.
I think he's beat up. I think he's beat
he
every
beat Thiago
Brazilian
Santos
fighter.
as well. And Johnny Walker. You're right. He's 3-0 on at least recently he's 3-0. I mean, they're missing a fight here though. He definitely beat up his brother. That was what, a couple months ago. They're missing a W there. Yeah, I totally understand the Jamal Hill play. I understand why people are getting there. I just think that I want Hill to win. Like I'm picking Pereira, but I want Hill to win. I just think Pereira. It's just one of those things where it's like, okay, you kind of look you just look at these fights and you go, oh yeah, Jamal Hill probably find his power shot and he'll land on Pereira. Pereira's been rocked a couple times by Jiri. My thing is that, did Jiri just make Pereira hittable, or is Jiri so awkward that he forced mistakes out of Pereira that Jamal Hill won't be able to? Because Pereira's been in 80 kickboxing fights. You're telling me he's never seen someone like Jamal Hill? Like that's where the confusion is. Jamal Hill possibly puts out Pereira. Pereira possibly makes Hill look easy, look stupid on the feet, chops the leg kicks, and then just KOs him. There's a chance that happens, but it's more like that's what makes it so tough. Is like, that's another thing is it really relies on what happened in that fight, especially with Jiri, because like it's gonna say a lot about Jiri. Is like, if Alex Pereira comes out here, looks amazing, and starches Jamal Hill and shows everybody, hey, this guy wasn't on my level. I have 80 kickboxing glory champion fights. This guy, why did you guys think he was gonna be able to touch me? And he just destroys Hill. We're gonna be like, oh, Jiri's just super awkward. Jiri's just he's super cool about the way he gets into these strikes. That's why he's able to hit Alex. But if Jamal Hill goes and starches Alex, then it's like, yeah, Pereira is definitely hittable. We just don't know.
I think Pereira is very hittable. I think he gets chinned very easily. I know he's good at rolling with punches, but Jamal Hill's got very good speed. He's a very fast fighter.
Yeah. All right, I think that's gonna be it. We got the entire fight card. Yeah, so I'll probably end up like chopping this up, making videos or something, put it on YouTube. But I appreciate you guys coming out. I definitely enjoyed that Dan Argueta interview. We got to get more UFC fighters to do interviews because that was dope.
That was awesome.
And we'll probably do it a little bit earlier because I'm already getting tired. Yeah, we'll do it early. It was Dan. It was said he had something to do. So, but yeah, all right, sounds good, guys. I'm ending it. W.